2-0. Morocco thoroughly deserving the victory. Just taking a look at what that means in Group F. Canada are out. We'll talk about them a little bit later on, their defeat against Croatia. And then, once again, it is very much all to play for. Belgium against Croatia, huge tie. Belgium, must win that to advance to the next round. Look, we'll talk about,
and I don't fancy that. By
well, we talk about Morocco in a minute, who were brilliant. But the question has to be, what on earth went wrong with Belgium today? They were terrible.
Same as it went wrong with them in the first game.
And they got away with it against Canada.
They got a pasting against Canada. Now, you've just, for those that watched it, saw what Croatia did to Canada when they didn't panic.
Right.
They didn't panic, and they just completely swamped and overplayed them. Too much quality, too much experience. That's what we were sort of expecting from Belgium against the weaker sides. I've never felt that they were going to go super far in this competition, because defensively they're going to give goals up. Now, that's not the only facet of the team that's not working. That's the big surprise. Today, he changed the shape, put Castagne at left back, Munier, usually plays a back three, so he's searching. And look, is it any surprise? I mean, are we picking teams on history here?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Eden Hazard should not be playing in this World Cup. Yeah, you might put him on the bench for a cameo. The guy can barely play more than 45 to 60 minutes. And even when he does play, he's a passenger. One of the best Belgian players of the last, 50 years or maybe a lifetime, is effectively a passenger for his country. Now, that's not, well, I say it's not his fault. Some of it's his fault by the way that he's handled himself at his club. But it's not his fault he's playing. It's Roberto Martinez's fault that he's playing. He picks the team. And what world does he think Belgium, who, by the way, are ranked 2 in FIFA, that tells you all you need to know about the FIFA rankings, and what world does he think they're going to go and challenge Spain, Brazil, all these teams with a passenger on the team? They can't even do it against Canada and Morocco.
Frank, just what's going on there? Because Eden Hazard hasn't played a decent game of football in over 2 years. I can't imagine in training he's lighting it up. So why is he choosing it?
Well, because I think he's afraid of being hammered by the media or the fans.
But that's
because
what you
he
get
doesn't
paid, isn't it? It's a
well, I agree with you, and I will have taken that decision. But let's talk about also the two centre-backs, Vertonghen and Alderweireld, with all due respect for their career. They're not in the Premier League anymore because people or clubs decided that they were, not good enough anymore to play in the Premier League. So they went away. I understand now what De Bruyne said, between the two games. Now we cannot win the World Cup because we're too old. Because in so many areas on the field, you can feel that the players, they've done well in the history of football, but they're not capable of doing what they used to do. 2002, we lost and we were terrible in the World Cup because too many players, and I'm the first to be guilty for, we stayed with the national team, not being capable of doing what we did in 1998. And the coach at the time didn't have the guts to put half of the team out because we couldn't perform. And that's what it is for the Belgium team. Fantastic players in the past, but doesn't represent the present.
You have to think that Martinez just doesn't think he's got another option. Otherwise, why are you giving him...
The what, Stevie?
But,
well, he has.
Because,
he's got
Dries Mertens, who's like the same age as you and I. He's got. I mean, look at 3 of the front 4 there. Take De Bruyne out it. The 2 Hazards have had awful seasons, and Michy Batshuayi doesn't play for anybody on a regular basis. So straight away going forward, you're struggling, and you've got to play Hazard. If you give Hazard the captaincy, then he has to start the game. He certainly has to start the first or the second, but he obviously doesn't think he's got another option. Because why would you play the guy?
You've got options in there.
Well, tell me who, because why would you play him? It makes no sense to play Hazard. He's done absolutely nothing for 3 years.
He's playing him because he hasn't got the stomach to drop him. Yeah. Right? He cannot play for the national team and anything else in a friendly. He can't. Right, you got the boys playing at Milan, who came on. You got Trossard. And by the way, I'd rather have Dries Mertens in the team, who's playing in Turkey. He's 35. At least he can run about and score a goal.
Well, I would rather have anybody than Hazard. But clearly he obviously doesn't. Because I'll tell you what, if he doesn't, and as you said, he's just spineless, then that's
well, listen, Stevie.
That's saying a lot to turn around.
I will take any of those players who have never been at the calibre of Eden Hazard over Eden Hazard now, because we're not talking about a player from 5 years ago at Chelsea.
No,
we're talking about a guy who, let's be honest,
I don't
in the
think
last 3 years been a waste.
I'm not arguing with you.
All right, that's fine. So
but what reason? Other than...
Well, I've just gave you the reason. He hasn't got the stomach to drop the guy, and he needs to drop him.
Even take Batshuayi.
Why would you embarrass yourself that way?
By the way, he won't play in the last game. I'll tell you this now, Eden Hazard will not start in the final game.
Certainly shouldn't.
Yeah. You have so many players. You name Trossard. You name that young player who used to play for Bruges, and I forgot his name, and played for Milan.
Plays for Milan.
He plays for Milan now, and he's a complicated name. But
De Catalari.
Yeah, thank you very much. But Batshuayi have been there for ages, where every club he has been working for, it's been an average performance, and he's been there for 10 years. With all the respect that I have for that guy who played for Chelsea, Marseille, whatever he played for, but doesn't perform well. Again, another example where sometimes, somehow, maybe 6 months from now, you should have taken the risk to put that young guy who played in Champions League for Bruges as a striker. And Trossard, I hear that Chelsea wants Trossard, and Trossard is on the bench in that Belgian team. That's impossible. That's something wrong. Maybe Martinez is the only one who can tell us why he didn't have the guts to change. Maybe he has, pressure from somebody else.
Talk about this this phrase has been around for a while, golden generation, right? Has it really ever, when you think about it, been a proper golden generation?
Right.
I mean, De Bruyne, Hazard,
Lukaku.
Lukaku, good striker. He's not.
Lukaku.
No.
It's been a while.
maybe Courtois in there, but really, is it a real golden generation? Good. I mean, De Bruyne, brilliant. Hazard, when he was fit, brilliant. The rest of them,
right,
good players. And as for De Bruyne,
what did you make of those comments? Obviously, he made yesterday. Honest.
Well, listen, he is right what he's saying.
Vertonghen hit back today, didn't he? Said we probably attack badly too because we're too old.
Well. What he's saying is correct, but I think from a player's perspective, saying it in the middle of a competition where your team is struggling, and by the way, where he himself has been poor.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's done nothing.
Yeah.
You're not dropping him, but he's done nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it is right in what he's saying. But I would hasten to add, I think maybe wait until after the competition.
Why is he saying it? Because he's a clever guy, isn't he? He knows the ripples that this will cause.
I mean, why? Why is Martin putting that?
I mean, the only
why?
Pay.
Because the only thing you know is it's going to upset everybody.
Yeah. You've got nothing to gain by it. No one's going to pat you on the back and when you go back to the dressing room and say, thanks for being so honest.
I don't know why. It's just a no-no. It shouldn't be done.
But that's the reality of it. They're too old. That's the reality. He's saying the truth.
But not during a competition.
I agree. Again, honesty doesn't pay. Yeah, the question has been asked to him, and he couldn't find a political answer.
Right.
And he said the truth.
Right.
That's it. So
what
does he have to be blamed?
You've got a huge game against Croatia.
I agree
just hit the straps, and you come out with that comment. You know, when you go back in the dressing room, right, or the hotel tonight, or after the game, whatever it is, if somebody's saying that in our dressing room, you're going to, and I'm saying to Kevin De Bruyne, oh, by the way, Charlie Big Potatoes, you turn it on for Man City. You're talking about us being too old. What have you done?
This was yesterday. This was ahead of this game.
Yeah, ahead of the game.
Ahead of this game.
Different generation.
There's a time and a place.
Craig also, he doesn't live in the present. In the past, it would have been a big fight. Now, with all due respect, but it would have been a big fight.
A few fingers. But right, either name names or who are you talking about? Right. I mean, it's straightforward.
But nobody's going to react. They don't care. They don't care about what De Bruyne said. That's the new generation. They only take care of themselves and they don't even listen what somebody said.
Vertonghen's clearly listened. He's hit back today after the match.
Yeah, but they don't care. Nobody's going to come to him and say, "Well."
Oh, you mean they care, but they're not going to.
Yeah, they're not going to say anything. Right. They had so many problems. We talked in a few years, in the past, about Neymar or Mbappe or somebody like Thiago Silva or Marquinhos should have said something in the dressing room and say, "Oh, stop now."
Right.
Stop now. It would have been the case with Stevie, Craig, or myself at the time. They don't care. And I'm very polite.
I think we saw that in De Bruyne's performance as well. To be fair, everybody else is taking the shellacking, but he's not going to spare it. He looked like a player who, even in the first game, knew that it was a bridge too far now. He's made the comments, and now he looked like a player who, you know what, it's just not happening.
Right.
Not saying he wasn't trying or anything, but it was kind of half-hearted. Now, there's some big decisions. Obviously, Hazard, I think, is a simple one. He can't play. He can't move. Is Lukaku fit enough to come in and play against Croatia? I haven't got the answer to that. And do they go back to a back three? I just can't see how they turn it back on against this Croatia team. I just can't.
We're running out of time. We spent a lot of time on Belgium.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
Obviously.
Why not spend
Now we're going to talk about Morocco.
We got to talk about Morocco as well, who were the complete opposite to Belgium in the passion, the energy, and the quality that they showed.
Well, when you can dominate a team, not so much through just being better than them, but with your energy and your desire, you're halfway there. And the fact is that they do have some quality.
Yeah.
You know, the first goal is a tremendous free kick. I mean, he's got nothing to shoot at, but it's pinpoint accuracy. So when you're playing against a side like Belgium, who are struggling, who are one-paced, I mean, back, middle and the front, one-paced is being kind.
Yeah.
It just encourages what your strengths are. And Morocco's strengths are the pace and the desire.
Yeah.
And yes, they have got some ability. And if they continue to do that, regardless of the opposition, they'll give teams a fright.
Yeah.
There was a player in front of Courtois, but it wasn't his finest moment, was it? Really?
It seemed slow, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a difficult one to deal with. I mean, he didn't get any help from his defenders, put it that way.
No, he didn't. But at the end of the day, it's his job to organise his defence and have somebody in that spot as well.
Right.
So he's completely had a shocker.
Look at two quality players, and Ziyech is a good player when he turns it on, and obviously
it was good today.
And Hakimi's a fine fullback, and very fast, experienced, playing at PSG. A lot of other workman-like players. I thought they just deserved to win. I mean, they were desperate. They needed to get that victory, and yeah, Belgium got what they deserved out of this game. Absolutely nothing.
I'm so happy for Morocco. I think it's hard maybe for the people who are watching us to put maybe Morocco in the map, you know. And it's a small country. It's kind of a poor country. Lots of people are suffering. Most players, they come from France. They have a double nationality, and they fight for their country because it's a fantastic country full of culture. You cannot imagine the reaction over there,
right?
What it is there, just winning against Belgium, second in the FIFA rank. Yeah. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I've got goosebumps just thinking about that because I know what it represents for my friends in Morocco. What it is for them to Saïs, you know, plays for Wolverhampton. I mean, the goal that he scored. I mean, that's something he will always remember for the rest of his life. It's a real fit what they did. And they might do if they go through.
Well, they should go through now.
Well, but it would be, with all due respect, it would be like Scotland, you know, going through to a World Cup. I don't know if it happened already. Well, going through?
No.
Okay. So it would be like Scotland going through. No. But imagine with 2 or 3 times less possibilities financially than Scotland to go through. Yeah. That's absolutely crazy what they're about to achieve right now.
We would have went through, but Morocco beat us at 98 as well.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.